Hi, welcome back to Velo News TV. I'm Neil Rogers here at Pro Peloton in Boulder, Colorado, joined today with HealthNet Maxxis rider Frank Pipp. Frank, thanks for coming down.
Thank you.
Yeah, now last time I think I saw you was at a burrito joint downtown, and I think it was end of May, and I said, hey Frank, we'll have to get you in for one of these videos, and you said, well, I haven't done anything yet, so let me do something first. And then you went your way, I went mine, even though you've been spending the summer in Boulder, first year in Boulder, correct?
Yep.
Yep. And I went to the tour, and you've been racing. I just got back from a little vacation, and I'm glad we finally got a chance to catch up, because since then, you won a stage at Nature Valley, you finished on the podium at Lancaster, and then the big win, the Charlotte crit.
Yep.
Which I guess is not technically the biggest money crit of the year. Does that fall on Elk Grove?
I don't know.
I
think it's the biggest one day. That's what they call it.
There you go. And I think what happened actually, from what I remember, because Elk Grove was new last year when it was a crit, was that people at Elk Grove said, you know, what's the biggest money crit on the calendar?
Yeah.
We're going to up it by 1,000.
Yeah.
So we're the biggest money. So it's kind of, you know, picking at straws.
That's exactly it. The win at Charlotte is 25 grand, and at Elk Grove, the overall win is 26 grand.
Right.
So I think they had to one up them.
Well, so the team, Rory wins the NRC, the team wins the team classification for the 4th year in a row.
Yeah.
What's it like riding on a team with that much talent, and how do you get your opportunities to shine for yourself?
I don't. I'm just a whipping boy. The Australians, Carl and Rory, they just, my backside's all red.
Oh, and every once in a while you just luck into an opportunity? Once
in a while I just disobey orders and I just take off, like in Charlotte. Like, I'm not racing for you guys anymore, just take off. No, but I get my chances. I mean, everyone gets their chances on the team, really, for the most part. And it's been, you sort of have to prove yourself, and you know, I slowly did that, I guess. And
was there one race in particular where you felt like you kind of had proved yourself? You said, I'm ready to ride on the A team all year long. I'm ready to take some shots for myself. Was there a turning point?
No, I don't think so. I mean, first race of the year was like the Merced race, and I just worked, did that tour of Taiwan and wore the leader's jersey there for a few days. But that was a different sort of race. That wasn't any sort of proving thing. So I just sort of got into the role. You know, my schedule was set when I started the year, and that's sort of once I started racing more full time with the guys and with the core group like Rory and Carl and those guys. I just showed that I was maybe strong enough to get it done, and then I got my opportunities. I wasn't always the guy that they were setting up at the end, but during the race, you know, I had a lot of rope to play with.
I'll talk a little bit about your sort of strengths. I mean, we were talking before the tape was rolling about Philly.
Yeah.
You said you were the team's go-to sprinter at Philly, and I thought that was really interesting. I mean, this is a team with Carl Menzies, this is a team with Kirk O.B. I mean, these are guys who are also proven sprinters. People may or may not think of you as a sprinter, but how and when do you get a chance to sprint for a win on a team with guys of that caliber?
Luck. Pure luck.
I mean, going into the race,
we drew straws actually, and I got the long straw. No, at Philly it was just I had been riding pretty well. I had been coming up, had a good race at Lancaster, which helped. At Reading, I also I had a pretty good race. Kind of had a stupid move at the end on my part that took me out of it. Just attacking up the hill the last time when I probably shouldn't have been attacking up the hill. Should have been waiting for the sprint.
Yeah, the sprinter who attacks on the climbs.
Letting somebody like Rory do the attacking, but it was mental mistake on my part. But going into Philly, you know, Carl was had some different things going on, so he was just working for me that day, which was pretty cool. And most of the other guys just had free rein towards the end for the most part. So I was sprinting at the end. Basically, I was sitting in the whole race and sprinting, and I didn't really have any setup guys to do it. You know, sort of freelancing at the end if it came to that. We didn't want it to come to a sprint, but in the end, that's what it came to.
Yeah.
So
that's still a pretty cool opportunity. I mean, the last 5 minutes of Philly, and there you are. You're the sprinter for one of the top teams in the country.
Yeah, it's pretty amazing. I mean, from when I started the season, knowing that I'd have to try to climb a very tall ladder to get to where I wanted to be on the team and race a lot and maybe be one of the go-to guys here and there. Halfway through the year, all of a sudden I'm I'm the guy for one of the guys for Philadelphia, probably the biggest race on the calendar. So it was placing a lot of trust in me, and it was great.
A race like Charlotte maybe doesn't have the cachet as a race like Philly, but it does have the prize money.
Yeah.
Tell us about that. It was you and Jesse Anthony, correct?
Yeah. Philly is definitely on a publicity scale a much bigger race, I'd say, than Charlotte, because of the prestige it's had. It was the U.S. Pro for so long. I only did it once when it was the U.S. Pro title, but each year that I've done it now has been amazing. But Charlotte is another big race that's pretty amazing, and there's such a huge crowd there. So to win that one at the end,
I haven't been to Charlotte yet.
It's a great town. You race right in the downtown, huge buildings. You go up this corridor to the finish, and you can just hear the fans, the yelling echoing off the building as you turn the left, and it's like 500 meters up to the line. So it's a pretty amazing situation to be in.
That was a situation where you and Jesse were the early break, correct? And then, did you expect to stay away?
No, we weren't the early break. I mean, we went with like 6 laps to go, I think, which it's a 2K circuit, so it's pretty late in the game.
All right.
And there's just a lot of hesitation. And luckily, with the strong team that I had, maybe people weren't so inclined to chase us down, knowing that somebody like Carl, who was absolutely flying, he had just crushed everybody at Altoona.
How many stages did he win? 4, 5, depending on?
3 officially.
Okay, yeah.
There's the one day.
Yeah.
And the overall. So it just worked out. It worked out great for me to get my chance. I really didn't think. I thought I was just being a sacrificial lamb, at the end,
sure,
just hanging it out there.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, 1 lap to go, and we have 30 seconds, and it was like, we're gonna stick this.
Now Jesse was living in Boulder also earlier this year. I'm sure you guys did some training rides together. You got to know each other if you didn't already.
For sure, he's one of the Massachusetts guys, along with Tim on the team and Sean on the team. So the 3 of those guys lived together, and we definitely rode quite a bit. And Jesse and I actually early season rode, just he and I, quite a few times because we weren't always racing early season. So it was like everybody else was gone and we were hanging around. So it'd be like, hey, what are you doing? Let's go ride.
So what's that like? I mean, this is a guy who's, buddy of yours, friends with friends, training partner, whatever. And then, here you are coming into the last lap. I mean, is there any communication at all? Is there any joking around at all? Or what's it like?
No, I don't think there was time. I don't think there was time for that because we were just both going so hard at the moment. And there's definitely respect on both ends. So on the one hand, I don't want to do anything bad to him. I'm not gonna chop him through a turn or try to hang him out to dry too much. But on the other hand, it's business, and to win that race, that's a big one. I don't want to be second in a 2-man break.
So we're kind of in that sort of like that home stretch of the season. The NRC is over. The Missouri is next week. Are you going to Missouri?
Yeah, I am. Yeah. I've been racing a lot the second half. I had a big crash after Charlotte where I was hurting for a little bit, cracked a rib.
What happened? Was that in a race? Or
yeah, the day after Charlotte, there was a race in Winston-Salem, and I just went down real hard. And
that's right.
And so I was struggling. I raced Elk Grove and Downers Grove, but definitely wasn't feeling that great. So, but back for U.S. Pro in Greenville, I felt real good. And this weekend going to do a race in Michigan, and then tour Missouri after that, and
that's it.
Yeah. Which I'm really looking forward to tour Missouri, but of course you see the end of the season, and that's always a nice thing too. It's been a good year, and I hope Missouri we get things done. We're going to win stages there, try to do well in the overall, do everything we can, but definitely the end of season will be nice to do some mountain biking and sitting on the couch and whatever else you do.
Well, looking to 2008, the team's got to be happy with the way it's gone. I mean, are you back with Health Net next year?
Yep. Yeah. I re-signed. We re-signed sort of a core group on the team, and picked up some other guys. Might be a little scaled down version of the team, slightly, but no doubt we'll be fighting for the win in every race next year.
And you talked about sort of not doing all the racing early on and kind of coming on stronger in the second half, but do you, with this maybe scaled down version of the team, do you see your role changing? I mean, do you think you'll be at California next year? Would you expect that you'll be coming on sooner, maybe changing your focus a little bit?
Yeah, I'll have to turn it on a little bit earlier, which will be fine because this year was actually a big change for me. The previous 2 years I had raced on smaller teams where you have 10 guys on the team and you have to race from start to finish of the year all the time. And I did well with that too. So it'll be fine. If I do California, not sure at this point. I'm not really thinking about it. But if I have to, I have to. And
when would you expect to find out? I mean, it's early September now, but in order to be ready for California in February, you have to be hitting it, I would imagine, by sometime in November.
Yeah, for sure. I'm sure the schedule, somewhat of a schedule will come out, once the season wraps up, a few weeks after the season wraps up, sometime in October. We'll sort of get that schedule as to who's probably on the short list for the team for California, because you do need to know to get to training. Hopefully I'm on I wouldn't mind doing it, but I also don't want to be having to be flying for that race.
Yeah.
It's so early, and I'm from the Midwest. I'm used to winter. That's still winter for me.
I would imagine that that's the time you can really relax, is before you get that schedule, from when the last race until before when you get your schedule, then you can just completely turn the brain off and not even think about it.
Oh,
you don't have anything, you don't have an objective, just that.
Yeah, I have some vacations planned for end of September, early October. And
where are you headed?
West Virginia to do some rafting, and Florida to sit on the beach, and maybe some elk hunting too.
Cool. Well,
Yeah.
Frank, thanks for coming down.
Yeah,
Appreciate it.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah.
Appreciate it.